Man, bro, today, man, at work was stressful as hell.
Yeah, man.
Like, man, I didn't think we was gonna get through it.
Yes, man. When you go through stressful situations in life, like that, a lot of people they crumble under pressure. You know,
Right.
pressure busts pipes, right?
Exactly.
That's what they say.
Or they say some people pressure turn coal into diamonds. I feel like we came out shining today.
Yeah,
so,
we
hey,
did. So, man, let me know.
Appreciate the help.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead. So basically we're at work, right? And we're going through a stressful situation. We're limited on time. We got multiple projects we got going on. We don't want to say specifics of what we do, but
raising.
But stress levels are raising. We're down a guy. It's rainy. It's humid.
Man.
So like, how did you get through without like cracking? Because some people in the same situation would just totally crack under pressure.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I almost cracked under pressure. I ain't gonna say, oh, I'm solid. No, I'm human. So honestly, it took you to be like, hey, let's take a second. We took a breath because I was finna fucking sorry for cursing, but I was finna throw.
Just watch out for this though.
But I was finna throw my wrench and man, just go crazy. But yeah, if you went there to kind of talk me off the ledge, and then plus I had to like take a moment and take a breath.
So let's stop right there. So let's say having a good working partner, a support system. So the work situation that we're dealing with, really people can apply it to their everyday life, right? So they can, like, whether it's relationship, just a stressful situation in your life, this is how you can handle it. Right. So so what you're saying is having a good support person, a work partner or partner or support system helped you out, basically.
Yeah, that's perfect. So pretty much good support all around system, whether it's family, a co-worker, like you said, a good friend. Hell, even if you need to take a breath and call somebody like, hey man.
Because if I would have been negative in that situation, you would have fed off of my energy, right? Yeah. And that's what a lot of people do in situations in life. They feed off of who they're around. Birds of a feather, they flock together, stuff like that. That's why you try to want to be around positive people or situations like this arise. You got a person that could take a deep breath, calm the situation down. Hey, let's think about it this way. Let's take a breather. Things like that.
So a good support system is always good to have. And another tip, when you bust that joke, that help like bring the mood down too.
So make light of the situation.
Make light of the situation. That's another tip you can use. Like, man, turn that negative and twist it into a
the situation we were in. We were like literally in an uncomfortable position, sweating. We had a bunch of uniform on. We
twisted.
We're like it's humid, but we have to wear protective uniform because we're dealing with
goggles fogging up.
Yeah, we deal with hazardous stuff, so like we don't want to get any of it on us, so we have to wear all our and plus it's protocol, so we have to wear our I'm sure most people do, right? They got to wear PPE, like uniform stuff, but it's like it's helping you, but actually it kind of hinders you too. Because you're like, goggles are fogging up my hands. I can't grip on things.
Yeah, that's where take a moment and breathe.
But just take a moment. And then that's a side tip, just take a moment to breathe, right?
Yep.
And then if you can in a situation, and not because I've worked with people before that make a situation always like too funny, or they're trying, they're like doing too much, like a light joke here and there just to kind of break the tension.
Right,
it's cool. But I think when people play too much on a job site,
that's gonna make it
or
worse.
In a relationship, like if your wife or your partner's trying to tell you something, or your husband is trying to tell you something, and you're sitting there just cracking joke after joke, they're like, "Come on, being serious, like be serious." Like I'm not trying to work with nobody who's just playing the whole time.
Right, it makes sense. You don't care, even though some people use jokes as a defense mechanism to keep them from feeling bad, but at the same time you should take into consideration, like you said, what your coworker going through, what your partner going through, and listen. You ain't even gotta say nothing half the time. A lot of times people just want to get things off their chest and just listen.
Yeah, so
that's a good stress. Like sometimes a person be under stress and you don't have to crash out, as people say nowadays, but talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Once you got through it, talking about it helps, like we do.
Yeah, because now we're going back and reflecting. Exactly. So reflection on a stressful situation, how you handled it, whether you fail or you don't fail, is a good way to, reflect and build and grow. So I was already in a stressful situation last week, and a week before that, and every day we pretty much have something stressful that's going to come our way. It's life, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Definitely.
but by going back and reflection, I made a video that said reflection is key. It's basically you go back and you think about, okay, because now the stressful situation's over. We handled it. It all got done.
Exactly.
And now, but we could have.
And critique ourselves at the same time.
And so that way it could be even better. Even though we handled it well, we both came through and we handled the situation and we got out the other side.
Right, we came out shining.
But we could have, like you said, just freaked out, totally said, F this, I'm not doing it, gave up, cried, whined. And all that does is make a bad situation worse.
Yeah.
So if you can make light of a situation, I mean, like I said, that was a good thing that we did. Let's see. Yeah. We took 5, whether if you're in an argument with someone or you're in a stressful situation, somebody cut you off,
take a moment.
Take a moment. Because I said, bro, let's just take a minute and let some fresh air hit us. Let's not even think about what we're doing right now because and what did that do? Like we literally, I told you, let's take 5 minutes and you only took 30 seconds. You were like, all right, I'm totally recharged.
Right. It's weird because when you stop and to take, like you said, smell the roses, I guess you could put it, or bring in the fresh air. It's like you get a jolt of strength and energy again. You're like, I bet, let's try this.
It's like that whole that mind cramp that you get. You're like, I can't get the situation under control, and then you take a minute, you breathe, and then boom. Like we both came back after 30 seconds of just taking a break, and now we're ready to get back to it. But in a situation, any stressful situation, man, you have to chill for a second. Think about your actions and how that's how the reaction's going to be to your actions. Because if I just threw the pipe and was just, oh man, I'm tired of this, I'm done, man, and then you just went,
forget it.
And then we had a person that came to help us, but at the same time, it's like you're you're stressed, so you might take it out on somebody else, and they're just trying to help. So you got to take other people's, like I said, think about what you're gonna say, because
Oh yeah, because you might be like, man, they'd be like, man, what's going on? Like, we're fucking it. Like you could have freak out and just start cursing and snapping, but that's just like you said, gonna make the situation worse.
Exactly.
So think, critique what you gonna say, and then be like, all right, well, we having trouble with this rail car. So yada yada yada. We've been down.
If you don't have nothing good to say in a situation,
don't say nothing.
Just don't say nothing, because that's what I did. I basically got quiet when somebody said something to us that kind of. It could have been took in different ways because they're just doing out of the kindness of their heart, saying, "Oh, it was taking so long," basically.
Right.
But they're not down here with us and hurting their back and getting their, getting the pipe
wrenches slammed on your leg,
underneath
your finger.
Yeah, so. But all in all, I mean, we could look back and be like, okay, that was a lot of good tips and tricks that we did to handle that situation.
Yeah.
I mean.
Which I can't say, man, I'm proud of us.
We did
came
good.
We came out good.
I told you I was proud of us. Like, man, you got to block out. That's another thing. Like, you got to block out other things that are going on, because we had, during that stressful situation, we had multiple other situations going on around us that we needed to take care of too.
Exactly.
This was just one situation that was really bad in the middle of a bunch of other bad situations. So instead of us worried about other situations, I told them, let's just focus on this and don't worry about nothing else. And if somebody wants us, they'll come find us. But if they know where we're at, we're working.
They know what we're doing.
And we're going to get through this situation, because you're trying to put out too many fires at once. That's how stuff gets messed up. Exactly. You got to focus on what's in front of you, the task at hand.
The task at hand is taken care of and fully, like you said, the fire is completely out. Because when you try to put out too many fires, you're going to neglect one and bam, flames just burst out again. You're like, I gotta run back over here, and then I gotta run. You're trying to do too many things at once. You're just gonna make the situation worse.
You're gonna make it way worse. So we know we kind of prioritized before we started. We knew we had as soon as we clocked in, we knew we had a bunch of situations at hand that we had to take care of. So we sat back, we came up with a game plan, we organized how we were going to handle the situation, and then we attacked each one at a time. Yeah. And we got through it. But if we didn't do that, if we didn't organize, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm just saying, if we didn't organize our plan in advance, or take these pre-measures to figure out, we would have been like, oh, well, you go do that, I'm gonna go do this, you go do that, I'm gonna do this, and nothing's getting done, and we're just running in circles instead of coming up with that game plan, working as a team,
and then focus on that. And I mean that I ain't catch
go ahead.
Yeah, but I was gonna say also take into consideration like unforeseen factors, like the bottom of that fucking how fucking wedged it was and how hard it was to fucking really get the damn screw or whatever you want to call it out of the plug out. Like you gotta take it to like factors that's out of your control. Like like the
don't get specifics, but you just give a general idea of what you're trying to say.
I woke up today and you end up with a flat tire. You didn't expect that. Like you woke up and this is way harder than you thought it was gonna be. You gotta take those things into consideration as well. Be like, all right, I could go into this and this might be this or this might be that. But when you do, don't let it deter you from the task at hand. Pretty much is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like if you start your day off in a positive mindset, like just from moment you wake up, you're like, all right, positive mindset. Because a lot of people, they don't do that. So when a stressful situation comes their way, which we're all gonna have, who do you think's gonna succeed more? The person that woke up and they had a positive mindset to start their day. So whenever a stressful situation comes, you're like, all right, that's cool. I know how I'm gonna handle this. I'm not gonna let it get to me. I'm gonna knock it down. I'm knocking it down. I'm knocking it down. Or a person that woke up, it's Monday. It's raining. It's this. It's that. And then a stressful situation, it just adds on to their already problems they have in their life.
And then they're not gonna focus because they too focused on the negativity instead of trying to do the task at hand.
And now those are the people that you get that throw things, that cuss, that whine, that cry, and they don't get anything done, and it makes a bad situation worse. And so that's hopefully these few tips that we give out, maybe it'll help somebody else in their day.
Help them,
if they have come across it, because we're all gonna come across stressful situations.
It's always good to just, like you said, take a minute, sit back, reflect, take a breath, and just get your thoughts together and keep going. Don't give up.
And what was I doing? Like the joke that I cracked, it's something that I was talking about, which and I made a video about this too, is saying this too shall pass.
Exactly.
It's funny. It's cliche. Oh man, this too shall. But look, we're over here laughing. We're cutting up. We weren't laughing at cutting up when we were just. But in the moment, I was like, hey, remember what I said? This too shall pass.
I know.
And it hit just right to where we both just started laughing. We took a deep breath and then we got back to it.
I was sure.
And then now look, this is what I'm talking about. We're over here laughing and cutting up on our lunch break.
Right.
And it passed, didn't it? So it worked. So it's true what they say. This too shall pass. So if you're going through a fight, or you're going through a stressful situation, or a tough time at work, or a tough time at home, or a tough time at it'll pass. You just have to. You got to buckle down, put your foot forward, and take care of that problem at hand, and figure out why that problem occurred.
Exactly. You're gonna have several speed bumps in life, and it's up to you to either let them stop you, or you're gonna hop that hurdle. Sometimes the hurdle might be super tall, and it's gonna take you a minute to climb, but like you said, that shall pass. Like you're going to get over it.
Yeah. It's not, don't give up. Keep going. We could have threw in the towel plenty of times, but we didn't. We were like, nah, this is a test. I kept saying it. I kept saying, this is a test, bro. This is one of those tests. Because we get tested every day. It's how you handle in those situations, and if you're going to pass that test or not. A lot of people, they ain't going to pass that test. They're going to, because they're already filled with negativity in their mind. So what are they going to do? They're going to crumble. They're going to burst under pressure. They're going to, just fall in the face, and they're going to give up.
Right, they're gonna fall into that void. They're gonna fall into that dark hole.
Exactly, and what I'm trying to promote on my channel, and I think you are too. I'm pretty sure you are. Actually, I know you are. We're trying to get people their mind focused on positive energy and positive vibes. So whenever like that's the only thing that saved me from cracking under pressure today, because I already knew. I was like, first of all, I'm not gonna let this little bump in the road stop me. We got a busy day. It's cool. It'll get through. That's what we're here for. That's what we're getting paid to do. So, I mean, let's get it.
Right. We here 8 hours. It's not like we here for the next 10 minutes. Yeah. Or it's not like we...
But people rush things, man. Like, they try to rush, and then that's when...
I used to rush all the time. But now, like, I'm older and sit back and I look like, why am I rushing? Like, you're supposed to enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride. Like, you rushing to get to the end of something. Then once you get there, you like, this is it. What did I do all this rushing for? It's, you know what I'm saying? It was pointless. Yeah. The journey is more important than the destination. Like, I don't know, like, if that makes sense, but
I mean, it makes sense.
Getting there, like going through all the stuff you go through in life, the hurdles, the mountains you gotta climb, the hurdles you gotta jump.
There's gonna be a lot of pain and stuff that comes with it. So it's gonna feel like
suffering. But once you man, enjoy that. I know it sounds weird, but enjoy that journey, because ain't no greater feeling to when you get to the end of that journey and you came out unscathed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which you're gonna be scathed, but like you come out on the other side and you didn't just give up or crawl in a hole or tap out or no, you're gonna keep fighting. You're gonna keep fighting. You're gonna keep fighting. Like, trust me, if you keep fighting and you have to, like I said, go back and reflect on the situation too. Because let's say we didn't fit. I would be keeping real with them. I'd be like, man, I buckled today.
Right.
You know, I cracked under pressure. I threw this and I cussed and I did that and I cried and I whined.
Right.
But how can I? But it takes an open-minded person to think and grow from their past experiences. A person is being
unrealistic if they feel like, oh man, I never fail. Even when I fail, I win. No, like that's not true. When you fail, you fail. I always say it's not about how you fail, it's about how you get back up.
But
like, it's not about how you fall, it's not about where you fall, it's about the aftermath after. Are you gonna pick yourself back up, or are you gonna lay there and wallow?
Grow a little bit every single day, just a little bit. You don't have to be the most perfect person in the world. We all have flaws. I have flaws. You got flaws. We're just trying to build up a little bit every day to try to like be a little bit better, because you know that's all it is. Like, so that way now we know. Next time we have a stressful situation, you might remember this conversation, or hey, and it might not even have nothing to do with work related stuff. It could be like something going on in life,
life period.
And then you're like, oh, I remember how we talked about how we reflected on a situation at work. I gotta apply this to my life now. So so hopefully this helps, man. We'll wrap it up. I know our lunch is getting done. You got any final things?
Only final thing I really got to say is, hey, keep going, don't give up.
If you got anything out of this, like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. And of course, to our channel, Top Z Views, JA Show 86. But other than
more
that,
of this to come. You know, we can talk about stuff all day.
Right.
Give us topics down below if you stuck out this long.
Right. If you
just let us know another topic y'all want us to chop it up on. You know, comment on my work goggles. I know I look good in them. Got the sun beaming. I'm squinting like crazy, but that's why it's kind of.
Yeah, but other than that, man, hey, you are enough. Don't let nobody tell you ain't.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we talked about it. Now it's time to be about it. So, hey.
Apply it. Let me know.
Peace.
All right, y'all.